Hello students, in this video lecture we will be focusing on optimization with multivariables. So basically we have seen the optimization with single or one choice variable, then we have seen optimization with two choice variable, and we have seen that the first order condition remains the same in both the cases, but the second order condition differs in terms of optimization with one choice variable and optimization with two choice variable. That means the procedures or techniques of identifying the relative maximum or minimum is different in terms of these two kinds of optimization. Now it's time to see whether a multivariable optimization remains the same as before the two other techniques, or there are also some changes in terms of the second order condition. Now, in order to go through the concepts, I'm still sticking to chapter 11 of Chiang's book. However, I have moved to chapter 12 in Edwards Dowling book to look for the examples. Now, let's begin with the procedure. In terms of optimization of functions with more than two variables or multivariable, what do we need to do? Given a function of more than two variables or multivariable, at first we need to look at the first order condition. That means we need to take the first order partial derivatives, set it equal to 0, and solve for the critical values. We can also use the Cramer's rule method to identify the critical values. In the mathematical examples later on, I will show you the application of Cramer's rule under optimization of multivariable case in order to identify the critical values. Now let's look at the second order condition. It is actually asking us to use a Hessian matrix. That means here clearly we can see the difference in terms of optimization with one choice variable, two choice variable, and multi-variable. In each cases under second order condition, we are finding a new procedure to identify whether the function is at its relative maximum or minimum. Now in this particular case, the Hessian matrix is basically formed by taking the first order partial derivatives. If we look at a simple 2 by 2 matrix, then it will look like the following, where H is representing the Hessian matrix and F11, F12, F21 and F22 are basically the first order partial derivatives, the elements that we have got from our first order differentiation, partial differentiation. And from here, if we would like to take the decision whether the function is at its relative maximum or minimum, then what condition needs to be followed? So if H1, that means the first principal minor F11 is greater than 0, and H2, that means the whole matrix which is considered as the second principal minor, is greater than 0. That means if both the signs are providing that the values are more than 0 or positive in nature, then the function is at its relative minimum. Whereas if we see that H1 is less than 0 and H2 is greater than 0, then the function is at its relative maximum. Now you can consider a 3 by 3 matrix as well. So if there are three different variables, then the Hessian matrix will look like F11, F12, and there will be a new column which will be adding F13. The next row would be F21, F22, and F23. And there will be a third row added as F31, F32, and F33. And that's how a 3 by 3 Hessian matrix is going to be formed by the help of first order derivatives of a three variable case. Now, in terms of decision making procedure, in terms of a 3 by 3 matrix, if the first leading minor H1 is greater than 0, H2 is also greater than 0, which we will identify through the operation of identifying a determinant, and h3 is also greater than 0. This one we will also identify by solving for a determinant. If all these three values are greater than 0, then the function is at its relative minimum. Whereas if h1 is less than 0, h2 the determinant value is greater than 0, and h3 the determinant value is less than 0, then the function is at its relative maximum. So that's how we identify in terms of optimization with multivariable whether the given function is at its relative maximum or minimum. Now let's solve. Now let's go through some mathematical examples in the next video so that it makes your understanding better.